conferences, piles of flyers, getting stuck on endless email lists, never-ending calls. There's an easier way to sort through and find the best school fundraisers. School Zone Podcast proudly presents the 10 Top School Fundraising Ideas for 2017, a guide of top fundraising companies hand-picked from the best podcasts. As an added bonus, it lists 5 awesome resource companies that would add tremendous value to your school and students. A guide to 10 top fundraising companies and 5 resource companies. And we're giving the guide away for free. That's right, for free. Ready to simplify the search? Download the free guide at schoolzonepodcast.com. Welcome to School Zone School Fundraising Ideas Podcast. We interview top fundraising and resource companies to help you find a solution to your next school fundraising or school resource need. Are you ready to simplify the search? Now, here's your host, Matt Miller.
Hey, School Zone Podcast listeners. Matt coming at you from San Antonio, Texas, the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. We're at the Launch Texas PTA Summer Leadership Seminar, and I have Mr. Paul Brown here with me of Dorian Business Systems. Paul, why don't you introduce yourself and say hey to the School Zone audience?
Well, greetings. Good afternoon. Thanks for having me in the School Zone podcast.
So tell us a little bit about you, why you're at this event, and then we can dive into your company and kind of what your guys' expertise is.
Okay. Well, myself in particular, I do marketing, product development, training, and also act as a booth bunny at the exhibit areas for our products. And why we're here at the launch session here is we're marketing PT Avenue, which is adopted by Texas State PTA for management of PTA membership and financials and just software to overall manage everything you deal with when running a PTA.
So I'd never heard booth bunny before, but I like that term. I've also been called eye candy before.
I don't shave my legs, but okay.
Very cool. I know I've seen you around at these shows. I've been coming for about the last 8 years or so. I'm not sure how long you have, but I know I've seen you around. Your face is really familiar. So talk a little bit about PT Avenue and its benefit, especially to the PTAs and that type of thing.
Okay. Well, it's a product that it's actually a web-based product. It's a website for management. It's a database. So it's been around since 2009, 2010, somewhere in that time frame. Was being developed when I first joined the company. That's about when I joined the company in early 2010. Again, it's designed for the PTA board to manage all that stuff that they deal with. The membership, the households, the mother, the father, the grandmother and grandfather that are in Nebraska, the student or students, the teachers, who's paid, who's not paid. You can upload documents for your membership. You can have a calendar with volunteer opportunities, automated reminders, online signups, a whole member side area. The treasurer can do all the financial work, and it's available 24/7 from a visibility and a viewability standpoint. So that's your financial transparency for the board. So it's a nice one-stop shop for all those things that a PTA deals with in trying to be a successful organization.
The complexity, I assume, can get pretty big with all those working parts and all that.
To a certain extent.
So did you guys develop this specifically for this market to begin with, or?
We did, actually. It's an outgrowth of another product that's been around for about 15 years called Charms. Charms is a similar website database product designed for originally designed for fine arts programs. Bands, choirs, orchestras, where you have students and instruments and uniforms and library, financials, trips, fees, fundraisers, all that sort of thing. And it allows the director or head person to spread out the workload to booster officers, student assistants, that sort of thing. And it was adapted for PTA in a slightly less functional form, but tuned to PTA needs. And again, every board member has their own levels of access to it. So it is about distributing the workload. The membership person has access to the members area. The treasurer is in there doing financials. But the rest of the board can see the financials, sort of thing. So it's about delegation, not just in doing the product, but also learning the product. Because, as you said, there are a lot of complex parts to this, or it could be construed as complex anyway. And the president of the PTA doesn't need to learn this whole big enchilada. They can delegate. Treasurer, go learn the financials. Membership, go learn the finances. Or membership, go learn the member area. Volunteer coordinator, go work with the calendar. And I, as president, will pick up the pieces as I can. So, again, it's that 24/7 access to do what needs to be done whenever.
So is this type of software pretty standard? Of course, I'm not a PTA person, so I wasn't even aware something like this existed or had a need to exist. But obviously, there's a huge need. So is this pretty standard amongst a lot of schools?
It is. There's more and more internet, resources out there to manage things like documents and emails and reminders and calendar events. We all use our cell phones and mobile apps, that sort of thing. So it's becoming more and more typical. And again, that's one of our challenges in trying to keep a product like this relevant because of more and more internet resources. And we're fortunate to be tied into Texas PTA, who saw us about 4 years ago and really liked what we were doing and really liked the financial aspect of this, especially from a financial visibility standpoint. And so, like I said, they basically adopted us about 4 years ago as a recommended system to all state PTAs.
Well, it wasn't too long ago, and it never fails. I'm sure once a year or something like that, there ends up being some sort of news story about somebody who was working for an organization like that did something untoward with funds.
Took the money and ran?
Yeah. So to have that ability, just the checks and balances.
It's the checks and balances, yeah. I mean, I myself, when, 20 years ago when I was involved with Cub Scouts, my kids were in Cub Scouts, I was the Cub Master, that sort of thing, and unfortunately, our treasurer decided to use $3,500 for her own medical expenses. Well, we didn't find out about it until about a year later, and by then, adios.
Right.
So, I don't know. It's frustrating when that kind of thing happens. But again, the financial access, the financial information that's available here, and the visibility, and the records, the audit trail, everything, all those transactions available, it has both exonerated treasurers and unfortunately convicted a couple of them.
Right.
So
is this a subscription-based product? How does all that work?
Annual subscription product, but there are actually 3 different levels of it here in Texas. Texas PTA provides a membership and board information version for free to all Texas PTAs. Individual PTAs can add the finances module on their own cost at $90 a year annual subscription. There is a full version subscription at $199 a year, which adds more features from a board standpoint and also gives full member side access so they can see what's going on with the PTA activities. They can pull up the calendar and volunteer online for volunteer positions. They can see documents that the board uploads for them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And overall, the purpose really is help make the PTA more successful by increasing participation and improving communication.
That is ridiculously inexpensive for what it sounds like you guys can do.
Well, it's a very good value. I mean, literally, it's what, $18 a month, something like that. It's very affordable. And in the long run, I mean, obviously there are PTAs that struggle with their finances, and we hear it occasionally, oh, I can't afford that. And other PTAs is like, oh, that's nothing. It's a no-brainer. So we try to keep it affordable. And there have been a couple other competitive products out there in other regions of the country that are, most of them I think are priced more than we are. So we keep an eye on all that kind of thing. But that was one reason we wanted to offer the financial version at the lower cost. Again, finances, just to add the whole financial module, is just $90 per year. And that was actually adopted by Texas PTA because at the time they were doing away with the software that they provided to PTAs, and they wanted something else. Like I said, they brought us into the picture.
So do you guys work with any PTAs in any other states at all? Or
It's a nationwide product. It's actually an international product. We have several other states that have incorporated PT Avenue statewide. There are also state board features to it as far as membership management and communications, dues payment, all tied into the state organization. And it's expanding as we speak. It's interesting. We have military-based PTAs in Germany using this. We have, we get registrations from Anchorage, Alaska, and we're like, how did that happen? Well, people talk.
right.
We're in Texas. How did Alaska find out about this? Okay, well, hey, that's fine. Let's go. Let's go do training in Alaska. In the summertime, that is.
Right. So then at an event like this, are you guys primarily educating, or are you,
It's a little bit of both, education and support, and sales, of course. We want to encourage PTAs to at least try out that financial or full version to see what features are available to them. But at the same time, we're here for support. Existing users have questions. The new treasurer comes in. Hey, I just inherited all this. Help me out. What do I need to do? What do I need to know? The new president comes in. Hey, what is this thing? We've had this for 3 years. Or, hey, we just got this last month. Help me out a little bit. So it's whatever comes down the pike from a booth standpoint. So it's certainly not dull. And today in particular, we have been consistently busy at the booth. There have been no break for us at the booth.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time that it's actually gotten a little bit quiet all day. So.
It's finally about 4:30. I think some people are maybe getting a little bit fatigued and starting to look at their dinner plans and go put their feet up in the hotel room for a few minutes. That may include vendors. I don't know, but we're supposedly here till 8 o'clock tonight. We'll see who's still here at 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, the booth. I mean, I enjoy working the booth. Like I said, I've been with Dorian for about 6 years now, doing this both for PT Avenue and with Charms, and I enjoy working the booth because I enjoy talking to the people. I enjoy answering questions, solving problems, and bringing feedback to the programmers. Hey, we needed to do this. Well, that's a great idea. Nobody ever asked about that before.
Right.
Let's see if we can do it. So it's a very flexible system as well, and we like to at least think we're flexible enough to meet the needs of people that come up with, good ideas.
Very cool, very cool. Paul, is there anything else that you can think of that you'd love to share with the audience about what you do or how you do it or whatever?
A lot of what I do is the marketing, the product development, kind of being the interface between the end users and our programmers. Hey, it needs to do this, and it needs to look like this, and this is how these buttons need to work, and this is where they need to be. That interface is lacking sometimes in products, whether it be software or anything else. So there's got to be that tie-in between the end user and the people creating the stuff.
So you're the diplomat, or you're the translator.
The go-between, the translator.
Yeah,
the
translator.
I like that. Yeah. The incorporator. No, not really. No, that's the guys. I don't know. It's been an excellent relationship with Texas PTA. We've continued to develop excellent relationships with the other states that are putting this in place. It's growing. It's very popular. We see a bright future for it. And like I said, we enjoy helping people save time and do what they need to do and help reduce people's workloads just through efficiency. That's kind of the focus of the whole company, no matter what product that we have.
So the product is called PT Avenue. Paul, what's the best way for folks to get in touch with you guys if they want to learn more about the program and what you guys offer?
The website itself is www.pt-avenue.com. We are located in Garland, Texas. you can certainly call us. Office phone number is 972-485-1912. And you can email me as well, paul.brown@dorianbusiness.com. That's Dorian, Dorian, business.com.
And once again, that's www.pt-avenue.com. Paul Brown, Dorian Business Systems, thanks for being on the School Zone podcast, and hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend here at the Texas PTA Leadership Seminar.
Okay, well, I appreciate it, Matt. Thanks for the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And, time to go stand at my booth some more and answer some more questions.
I need to find some chocolate somewhere.
Thanks for listening to the School Zone's School Fundraising Ideas Podcast and for simplifying the search. Be sure to subscribe to the show so you don't miss an episode. When you do, please leave us a 5-star review in iTunes or your podcast player of choice. Victor Hugo once wrote, "To learn to read is to light a fire. Every syllable that is spelled out is a spark." Wouldn't you agree that readers are thinkers, and readers and thinkers change the world? That's why we offer Marlin and Percy, good and wholesome reading for kids from 4 to 13. Marlin and Percy comics and graphic novels follow the adventures of 2 superhero apes and best friends as they fight crime rings, subdue wacky villains, and overthrow half-baked plans of world domination. Marlin and Percy are also fighting with you against another deadly villain, illiteracy. Scattered throughout the clean and wholesome content are vocabulary-increasing words with definitions. Marlin and Percy comics and our novel can be found on Amazon or marlinandpercy.com. Save $9 now on the 7-comic ebook bundle at marlinandpercy.com. Just use the code APEPOWER. Marlin and Percy, heroes, best friends, apes. Order your books now